Coming up on Focal Point, 1 month and 5 days. That's how long it's been since the mass shooting on the Michigan State campus.
How do students feel about new security changes on campus? Find out next on Focal Point.
And the thousands of flowers that have been left on campus since the violence here, what will happen to them? We have these stories and a look at the Spartans dancing in the NCAA tournament. Focal Point starts now. Good morning and happy St. Patrick's Day. Welcome to Focal Point. I'm Isabella Gorsick.
And I'm Veronica Bolanos. 1 month and 5 days ago, a gunman started shooting on Michigan State's campus. 3 students died and 5 more were injured.
It's been a long road back for the school's 50,000 students, their friends, and family. To begin today, Focal Point's Brendan Shabath shows us how we were all feeling on Valentine's Day, the day after the mass shooting.
You know, when everything happened, it's just an incredible amount of panic.
I think anger is definitely one of them. Obviously, like sadness, why were innocent lives taken?
I don't know, it just feels kind of unreal what happened, so I kind of just wanted to walk around and I wanted to pass the union. I don't know why, I guess if I see where it happened, it'll feel more real.
And it's just infuriating that that people can get away with it. And rather go negative about guns and bad people, I thought, let's go do something positive. So today Pearl and I are out giving hugs, dog hugs, golden doodle hugs.
I just feel really bad for the families of the people that died, and it's just gonna keep happening.
When I think about this kind of thing is a uniquely American problem, it seems.
You never think it would happen this close to home, and it does. I mean, we were all together last night and we were just numb.
I don't know. I don't know how we get over this.
When it happens here, and I ate there the other day, and now there's an entire camera crew out front. I usually would have been here at the library or something like that, so it's just, it's surreal.
Classes were canceled for the rest of that week and the next week. The Rock on Farm Lane and the Spartan statue became gathering places for people to mourn and pay their respects.
It was an amazing scene. Literally thousands of flowers wrapped around the Spartan statue and the rock, all of them in tribute to the 3 students who lost their lives on February 13th. The flowers were left in place for weeks, but are gone now. They'll be returning soon in a different form. Last week, the mountains of flowers were carefully picked up. Some will be pressed and cataloged. The rest will be turned into mulch. That mulch will be used to grow a tree in memory of the 3 student victims, Ariel, Alexandria, and Brian. This change came just before spring break, and while Spartans are usually excited to leave campus, this year, time off to heal and regroup was even more necessary.
I feel bad for wanting to leave campus, but it's just been hard to focus and everything, but MSU is my home and I still love coming here.
Other gifts, such as the boards and teddy bears, were also collected and archived and preserved appropriately.
The MSU Beaumont Tower Guard honored the 3 students killed and the 5 injured in a special way. The tower has been a famous symbol in the Michigan State community for close to a century. 2 weeks after the shooting at exactly 8:18 p.m., 8 bells rang in honor of each of the victims. The tower was also lit green to represent the strength and togetherness of the community. Even interim President Teresa Woodruff made a stop at the tower.
In the weeks since the violence, security updates have been announced.
8/18, 2 weeks after the violence on our campus, and it allowed us to remember that we're a family, but also to remember the individuals who either lost their life or were shot in that incident. It was an important thing for the campus to come together around.
Students gather around the tower and listen to the bells as they played the tune of MSU Shadows.
In the weeks since the violence, security updates have been announced, and a fresh call for gun safety reforms has spurred hearings in Lansing. For years, students never thought about it.
A lot of events can be avoided and could have been avoided had this been in place a long time ago.
They could come and go from buildings like Brody and communications, arts, and sciences day and night.
There are so many people that come in and out of Armstrong.
AJ Evans is a residential advisor in Brody neighborhood.
I basically just overlook my side of the floor. The floors are divided into wings, so I basically look over the boys' floor, but I'm responsible, for pretty much the floor, as well as my who's on the girls' side.
He's always thinking on his toes.
I'm kind of always aware of what's going on. I'm kind of always alert.
Then the unthinkable happened. 1 month ago, 3 students died. 8 were hurt when a gunman walked into Berkey Hall in the Union and started shooting. It was 8:30 at night. Now, since the campus shooting, all these doors will lock at 6 p.m.
Makes me keep track of my wallet better because I'll be losing it.
I think this should have been implemented a long time ago.
Harika Gatla helps teach math. She's grateful of knowing who can enter her buildings.
I think in terms of security, I think it's great just because that kind of tells me that mostly just students and professors are the only people that can really get in.
Students appreciate immediate changes like locked doors, but feeling normal will take more time.
Have a nice day.
I don't like saying things are back to normal because it's making it seem like it's going back to the status quo, and then this cycle could just repeat again. Then what about after that? Is it back to normal then?
The university also wants a new state-of-the-art security camera system in addition to the emergency green lights on campus. MSU also wants students to undergo active shooter training in the wake of last month's tragedy.
It has been a challenging month for all of us, but we move forward every day. And with spring approaching comes renewal, and literally spring is not only coming, it's here, at least indoors. Zach Slowick is standing by live at the MSU Pavilion. Good morning, Zach. What's blooming over there?
It is absolutely beautiful here inside. First off, happy St. Patrick's Day. Here from the Michigan Home and Garden Store. I'm here right now standing by a beautiful tree. This is a real tree inside here as we can look as everyone's getting set to get underway. Show will start in just under an hour at noon. It goes until 9 o'clock today. It also goes throughout the weekend. But right after this break, I will come back and talk with Caroline Alt, the person who brought this whole thing together.
Thanks, Zach. Weather is next, and if you're wondering what the weather is like in Dublin, Ireland right now on this St. Patrick's Day, you're looking live at the famous Temple Bar. We'll be right back.
Life hasn't been the same since COVID. We all know that. The pandemic has affected each of our lives differently. Some have lost loved ones, some have lost their jobs. Some have lost out on important milestones like graduation. Some really adds up to most. Most of us have been affected in some way with this pandemic. Stop the spread and mask up.
Mask up so I can travel.
Mask up so I can go to tailgates. Mask up so I can go to concerts.
Mask up so I can see my family.
Mask up so we can live again.
Welcome back to Focal Point. The weather has been, let's just say, a little bit chilly and on the chilly side.
A bit chilly. I think that's a little bit of an underestimate. Yes, Chloe Porfirio will join us in a few minutes with the weather. But before she does, I can tell you where it's 72 degrees and the flowers are blooming inside.
Zach Slowick is live at the MSU Pavilion, the site of the Lansing Home and Garden Show. He's going to give us a little preview, right, Zach?
It's sunny, it's 70, well I guess not sunny, there's LED lights in here, but it is gorgeous here inside of the Michigan Home and Garden Show with just about everything to do. We're here at the Fox Tree Farm exhibit. There's a putting green. We can walk across. There's a bridge here with water going underneath it. We even have a pond with real water. We got real flowers. We have real evergreen trees. Everything here is immaculate. The rock work, the bricks, the boulders even. We have an excavator over there that has a brick or a boulder, if you will, with water in it. It's really just an immaculate site, and the fact that they were able to put all of this together for this show is amazing. I'm going to talk to Caroline Alt, who kind of did a little bit of everything putting this together. Can you just tell me a little bit about like what the show is and how it all came together?
Sure. So it's our 27th year of doing the Lansing Home and Garden Show, and it's 270 local businesses, and my part I play in it is really just getting them all together, getting them here, finding the local businesses that want to be a part of it. On Monday we start moving in, and then they start to shine. They get to show off, and the idea is that it's like they're creating a mini showroom for all the homeowners that come to the show all weekend long. And some of them, like the landscapers, really the only way you're going to see their work is if you're driving around town, right, and see the customers that they've helped. So for them, it's a really fun opportunity to say, this is who we are and what we do, and shine. They love it. They love to show off a little bit.
Yeah, no, it looks absolutely beautiful in here. I just have to ask, what does the construction look like in here on Monday throughout the week with all of the groups going through?
Yeah, it's messy. It's probably the most fun part of my job of the year, just because it is a lot of coordination, but it's a lot of trucks. It is really messy, and the closer we get to the last day of moving, sort of the more chaos, the tighter things get. Big trucks, less room, but it's all organized. It's organized chaos, and everyone works together. So it's just, trucks in, trucks out, setting up booths slowly but surely. There's more booths and less space and less trucks. So.
And last question. Last night was opening night, and how did the first night start?
Yeah, we had a great night last night. Really good crowd. Things start, slower on Thursday and build every hour of every day. But we had a great start. We had a huge crowd when we opened the doors on Thursday. The exhibitors were busy, and we all got a good night's rest, and we're ready now. Now that we're done with the move-in and we're done with the first night, we're ready for a great long weekend.
Awesome. Thank you so much again. If you're interested in coming to the Michigan Home and Garden Show, it will be open today as well as Saturday and Sunday. Today it opens just under an hour at noon, and it will remain open until 9 o'clock.
Zach, I'm jealous. I wish that I could be there too, but happy Friday, everyone, and happy St. Patrick's Day. We've been a little bit luckier this week since we did get to experience some sunshine, but it's looking a bit cloudy these next few days. So for those of you celebrating the holiday, stick around to see what your weekend's looking like. If we're going to take a look over at the national map first, on the West Coast, we're seeing some lower temperatures. Los Angeles is at 47 degrees, Phoenix just a little bit warmer than LA at 53, and Houston at 50. Over on the East Coast, New York is getting some sun and sitting at 57 degrees. Atlanta's experiencing some rain and lower temperatures, but the high for the day is 62. And Miami is feeling a little bit colder down there, but it might bring in some good breezes for those of you who are still celebrating spring break. Now, if we take a closer look at the Great Lakes region, we've got some cooler temperatures and some precipitation this weekend, Chicago is at 46, Green Bay at 42, and Columbus a bit warmer, but unfortunately, everyone's getting rain today. Currently in East Lansing, we're sitting at 54 degrees. Grand Rapids might feel some cooler temperatures throughout the day. They're sitting at 44, Detroit 48, and Mount Pleasant is at 41. Taking a look at the next 7 days, we're going to be experiencing some pretty heavy winds. This weekend, we may see up to 40-mile-per-hour winds. Saturday, temperatures are going to drop into the 20s, but they will work their way back up to the 50s throughout the week. But for those of you who are going to celebrate today, it shouldn't be too freezing, but the winds will make it feel a little bit colder, so make sure that you're wearing a jacket if you're heading outside. That's all I have for weather this week, so if you're going to get your shamrock on this weekend, make sure to stay safe and enjoy the holiday. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Chloe. Hopefully the spring season will bring us some sunnier days.
And I know just the way to kick spring off with a bang. It's March Madness. The Spartans are less than an hour away from tip-off in their first game of the NCAA tournament. When we come back, we'll have all the updates and more in sports.
Point. I'm Tiana Barnes with this week's sports headlines. Let's start with the Michigan State men's basketball team that concluded the Big Ten season with a win against Ohio State. Focal Point Zach Slowick was there as the Spartan graduating class was honored at the end of the game as part of the Senior Day traditions.
Senior guard Tyson Walker got the Spartans started with a mid-range jumper, but the Buckeyes would answer quickly, keeping the first half close.
Yeah, you know, it's mindset right now, and focus is a challenge for everybody. You know, it's going to be an interesting week because we're on spring break, and which is kind of good, but I don't like it because, you know, it'd be nice to get into a routine. I think we haven't been in a routine for like 3 years, you know.
Walker finished the game with 15 points, including a game-sealing three-pointer taken late in the second half. The Spartans would hold on, winning the game 84-78, and the Senior Day celebrations would begin. Mel Tucker was courtside to see it all. Joey Hauser got the loudest ovation, kissing the floor for the second time in 2 years.
I wasn't sure. I didn't really have a plan going into it because I wasn't going to partake in, you know, the after the game stuff, but I figured once I was the last guy, I had to do it. So there's no question about it at that point.
Tyson Walker, Jason Whitens, and Malik Hall each made their exits with 6 seconds remaining, followed by a post-game ceremony accompanied by their families, wrapping up the regular season before heading to the Windy City for the Big Ten tournament. From East Lansing, I'm Zach Slowick, Focal Point News.
While the Spartans got the win at the Breslin against the Buckeyes, they did not have the same luck against them in Chicago. Ohio State knocked MSU out of the Big Ten tournament in the quarterfinals, and now they'll prepare for the national tournament. 25 NCAA tournament appearances for Tom Izzo, and that's the longest streak of any coach ever. Friends and family members of the team gathered at the Breslin Center to watch the Selection Sunday show. The goal for Tom Izzo has always been to win the first game and the weekend, as he believes this team can make a run. The Spartans are in Columbus, where they'll play the University of Southern California.
It really doesn't matter who you play. It really doesn't matter where you play. I thought it was beneficial for us not to have to go way out west and play there on a Thursday was the only thing I hoped.
Tip-off against USC is set to start at 12:15 p.m. from Columbus, Ohio. You can watch the game live on CBS. Over to the turf, the MSU football team began spring practice this week as Mel Tucker and the Spartans hit the ground running. The big question is, will Peyton Thorne be the starting quarterback next fall?
The quarterback position is open competition, and he knows that, and all of the quarterbacks know that. And so competition is good, and we have to play the players that give us the best chance to win at every position, and quarterback's no different.
Includes spring practice on Saturday, April 15th at Spartan Stadium. That's all the time we have for sports this week. I hope you get to enjoy some more college hoops this weekend. Isabella, Veronica, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Tiana, for the updates. Speaking of competition, how about competing for a crown by painting?
To wrap up with our last story for today, Focal Point's Claire Baccarella gives us a little taste of what talent looks like in the pageant world.
Maya Shutnik has graduation around the corner. The Michigan State senior has found graphic design to be her passion.
I knew I wanted to be creative, and I think having a degree in design will allow me to do that in the future.
She also likes the design of this, a 4-pointed crown. Maya holds the title of Miss Spirit of the state. Next stop, Miss Michigan.
I was lucky enough to win a title.
This isn't her homework for her graphic design major. This is how she practices for the pageant.
Basically, I just paint this over and over and over and over and over again until I memorize it.
Her pageant talent is a unique one. Speed painting.
Ta-da, hopefully when I flip it around, it looks like Sparty.
This time, Sparty. Last time, Michael Jackson. Her talent from last year's Miss Michigan went viral on TikTok.
Got over 3 million views. Was really, really cool.
This year, Maya plans on painting a role model of hers.
Some people may not like her, but I love her. Like, I love her so much, I don't care what other people think.
She can't say who it is yet. When most contestants might sing or dance, Maya wants to show people you don't always have to follow tradition.
Making top 10 again would be pretty cool.
It's been a hectic semester. She'll graduate in a couple months, then show the pageant world that you can be different.
Win or lose, I want to be happy with how I performed.
In East Lansing, Focal Point News, Claire Baccarella.
Now that is impressive. I think we're all rooting for a fellow Spartan to bring home a win, and we are definitely sending Maya our best wishes.
That's all for this week's edition of Focal Point. We leave you with a live celebration from Dublin, Ireland, in front of the world-famous Temple Bar. I'm Veronica Bolanos.
And I'm Isabella Gorsick. Have a safe St. Patrick's Day.